Welcome to this demo on how to use Yubico's Oath Tokens with Lieberman Software's Enterprise Random Password Manager, also known as ERPM. This demo will take about 5 minutes to complete. Here's a quick overview of what we'll be covering. We will begin by showing you how to use Yubico's multi-configurator to program tokens, as well as generate cryptographic seeds files for the just programmed tokens. Next, we will import the cryptographic seeds files into ERPM so that it knows about the just created tokens. We will then assign tokens to specific users. At this point, you'd normally be ready for multi-factor authentication. However, if this is the first time you've configured Oath Authentication on ERPM, there'll be a few one-time housekeeping tasks you still need to do. First, we need to configure the website to use Oath Authentication. By default, multi-factor authentication is not enabled or configured for web authentication in ERPM. Second, you must configure users and groups to require their Oath authentication for a web logon. Once everything is configured, we will demonstrate an actual logon to the ERPM web console using our programmed YubiKeys. So, let's get started. We will begin by going to the Yubico site to download the multi-configuration program. The URL is shown on the screen now. The program itself does not have an installer and can be run immediately. Once you're at the Yubico website, you can go ahead and scroll down and launch the multi-configuration utility directly from the website. Once you've launched the application, you need to configure it by clicking in the upper left-hand corner. The first thing to change are the settings for the type of token to create. We're going to create an Oath HOTP with an 8-digit output. We're going to also reset the serial number to start at 100. Click OK. We now also need to decide what USB port to use for programming the tokens. We'll do this by turning on the enumerate function within the multi-device programming utility. Go ahead and plug the token in. Notice that it's detected. We now have the USB port we're going to be using for programming. Turn off the enumeration because this is the only port that we're going to use. We're going to do tokens one by one. Next, we're going to go ahead and select the name of the output file that's going to hold the seeds that match the tokens that we're programming. We're going to generate a CSV file and click Open. We're now ready to begin programming. So we'll go ahead and put the first YubiKey into the USB port. It's detected it, so we're now going to begin the programming sequence by clicking Auto Run. The programming takes about 1 second. Remove the key that's been programmed and plug another one right in. That one's programmed in about a second. We've completed 2 devices now. And again, a third one is done just as quickly. So literally 3 tokens are programmed in just a few seconds. At this point we hit close, which will save the seeds file. We now have programmed tokens, so the next step is to import the seeds file into ERPM. We do that by going to Delegation and Token Configuration. Notice that there are no tokens to start. We'll click Import and select the 8-digit HOTP SHA-1 algorithm. At this point, we're going to be asked to locate the file that contains the seed files. We'll switch to the All Files view, find the CSV file, and click on the Open button. Note that we've read the file in, but we now need to map the file into the columns that are going to be used to fill the database within ERPM for these tokens. In the case of Yubico, we have these mapped as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you simply select the columns in sequential order and hit OK. Notice we now have all 3 tokens imported. The last step in this process is to assign a token to a specific user. We do this by highlighting an entry, clicking on Edit, and then going into the associated user dialog, picking an identity, selecting OK, as well as switching the username login format to username and authenticator. Can also provide a comment for this particular assignment of this token. Go ahead and click Save, and we've now assigned a user to a specific token. Each web instance of ERPM must be enabled for Oath Authentication. This is done by clicking on Manage Web App, selecting the instance, selecting Change Web App, confirming the overwrite, going to the Security tab, and then enabling Auth token checks for web application logins based on permissions. Click OK, and we're ready. Each user, or the group that it belongs to, has to be enabled for Auth authentication. This is done by going to Delegation, Web Application Global Delegation Rules, finding the identity that needs the Auth requirement, clicking on Require Auth, applying the permission, and then selecting OK. At this point, we've programmed the tokens, assigned them, and we're ready to test them. We enter the username as usual, as well as the password. Press the token key, and we're logged in. That's it. As you've seen, programming Yubico tokens and assigning them to users within ERPM is really pretty simple. To review, we started the Yubico multi-configurator program, plugged in a few tokens into the USB port. These got programmed. We closed the program, which generated the seed files. We imported those seed files into ERPM and then assigned each token to a specific user. There was also some housekeeping about turning on the web authentication for Auth, as well as making sure that users and the groups they belong to will also get Auth authentication. But that was pretty much it. If you have any questions about Yubico tokens or ERPM or how to do multi-factor, please feel free to contact us at support@liebsoft.com or call us at 310-550-8575. Thanks for watching.